Good afternoon, everyone out there. I know you haven't seen me in a while, but I'm back. It's Kevon Bryant, and I am here with Kev Talks, powered to you by Heat Seekers and also the Kev Talks brand. Thank you very much. We got Calvin Films in there. Thank you very much for producing. Shout out to everybody out there. Today we have a special guest, producer, promoter, and now author, Mr. Andrew Minott, all the way from Jamaica. His book is entitled "Prove 'Em Wrong." So we definitely are gonna enjoy talking to him. And if you haven't gotten the book, please get the book. It's pretty interesting about someone. We'll talk about that and we'll find out exactly what he actually is talking about and what he is proving everybody wrong about. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and introduce you to Mr. Andrew Minott. Hey,
Hello,
hey.
sir. Okay.
How are you? Welcome to Kev Talks, first of all.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's so funny. A lot of times we get authors. Most of the time, we get authors that have previous experience, which is in music or like yourself, even promoting. But interesting title that really struck me. Prove them wrong. I think we all are going through that. I know I am. I have to prove people wrong every day. Every day we got to prove somebody wrong. So please give us out here exactly, like, tell us who you are first of all, and tell us what are you proving us wrong about.
Hey, I'm Andrew Minott. I'm now an author. Never planned it that way. Originally from Jamaica. Moved to the States, lived in New Jersey, joined the military, went all around the world and back. Now I live in Florida. And here I am proving everybody wrong that doubted me. The book is basically about my life growing up, not having any support, and have to prove everybody wrong throughout my entire life. To this day, I have to be
Wow.
proving people wrong that, everybody goes through that. People doubt you all the time, and you have to like prove them wrong, even though you hate doing that, but it's just a part of life, I guess.
Yes, sir. I know it's a part of life because we go through life along with other people, other artists, aspiring entrepreneurs. The world seems to make you feel like you can't make accomplishments that you dream about. The world makes you feel like you shouldn't follow your dreams. You have naysayers, your peers, anybody who you have jealous people, envious people. How did you overcome all of that? And coming from where you come from, how does that affect you? How do they make you feel like, okay, I'm gonna do this?
Strength and perseverance. Pretty much, it's just the mindset of not giving up.
Mm,
Because if I detail in the book, basically coming here to the States at age 18 and supposed to live in New York with my father, and he just said, "Yo, you're not living with me." So I said, "Okay." So we're gonna go. He's gonna ship us to New Jersey, my brother and I. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go to college. He said, who's gonna pay for it? I'm like, so he had no way of even helping me at all. So then I was like, you know what? Then my uncle was like, you know what? Go join the military. And I told my father, he's like, you'll never make it in the military. You're too skinny, too soft, and all that. So I'm like, man, I gotta prove him wrong too. And then being in the military and then you're there all alone, age 19, 20, on an aircraft carrier in the middle of the Persian Gulf.
mm,
I have people around me attempting suicide. It's just it's just really crazy. You got proof to yourself. I gotta make it through this. I gotta make it through this.
mm.
And it's just a continuous cycle. Everybody always doubts you. There's no one in this life that can safely say that they had support from everybody across the table. Nobody has. You know,
Yes.
nobody can say that because people always that Jay-Z said his uncle told him, "You'll never sell a million records." You know, so he have to be proving his uncle wrong. Everybody right now the sports drama, Aaron Rodgers, he's gonna be proving Green Bay wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's a continuous cycle, man. Everyone in this world have some part in their life have gone through that, then they have to prove somebody wrong. You know,
So when in proven wrong, do you think it actually gives the people who you had to prove wrong a lesson, or do it make them more envious?
I don't know. That's a good question because people will tend, if they really have love for you, then they will say, you know what, I got love for you. You know what? You proved me wrong. I'm wrong because I've learned to do that. I don't doubt people because if someone said they're gonna do that or do something, I encourage them. Like I've always told my sons, anything your mind can believe, your body can achieve. So just try for it. Never give up. Never say you can't do something. If you're really willing to work for it, you can do it, no matter what it is. It's
Yeah.
always been that motto that you can get it done.
Do you think it's would you say that it's more of a cultural thing with us or our race, no matter which part of the country we from? We start out with not a lot of motivation or not a lot of will to think we can get something accomplished. Do you think it's more or less that, or it's just human experience, period?
I think, especially with the African Americans or Africans or black people or whatever you want to call it, it was a thing that was passed down through generations. Because if you think about it, um, let's just go back way, way back. The Europeans couldn't go to Africa and just take black people from Africa and take them to America as slaves. You had to have gotten betrayed by your own people.
Hmm.
So no matter how you look at it, so if Columbus went to Ghana to go get, he can say, "I'm going to come take a couple Africans and take them." No, you had to get the help from other tribes and say, "You know what? I don't like them, so you can take them." So that's what it was. So just like here, you go in a community in the hood, and someone go present your some dude say, "Yo, I give you this if you go do that to him," and they do it because it's a sellout mentality because it's embedded in us, just like the house Negro and the field Negro. You know what I'm saying? It's just how they look at it. You turn one against the other, and that's just how it is. So our people will tend to have that embedded in us that we fight against each other. We always say we are the biggest consumers of products, but we have the least amount of equity,
Hmm.
because we don't support each other.
Right.
It's sad to say, but it's just the truth, though, because it's just how it is, you know.
What's funny, almost every African American, black, however you say it, most everyone that I come up to, they say the same thing, but then no one does anything about it. What do you think it's going to take to get us to realize that we need to be each other's brother's keeper?
We got to make generational changes. We got to stop perpetuating the cycle. Like, even in the book, I talk about like me raising my sons as a single father. My father didn't do it for me because he was never there for me. And he claimed his father wasn't there for him. So if we cut the cycle off, so I cut the cycle at me. So now I was there for my sons. So now I don't perpetuate that. So a lot of people in the hood, we perpetuate this cycle. Like this dude in the hood, my father wasn't there, and I grew up fine. So I gotta be there for you. So you figure it out. And then he
Hmm.
said the same thing. My father wasn't there, so I ain't gonna be there for you. You know what? You figure it out. And the cycle keep going on and on and on because we gotta be accountable for our own actions and know that no matter how you look at it. And that's just why I say you prove them wrong because you can prove to other people that I'm not going to continue this cycle. I'm going to change. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to look out for my people. I'm going to make sure that my kids are good. I'm going to make sure that my family is good. You know, don't be selfish. It's a selfish nature, especially in this climate. Everybody care about money. And I even
Yeah.
talk about in the book, money is a great servant, but a terrible master. If you make
Hmm.
money rule your life, it's not going to end good. It's not going to end good.
But it's hard to get people to understand that understanding of money and what it can do to if you let it rule you. I was hearing something. Well, first I heard something today earlier. They always talking about passages in the Bible and they're talking about
Yeah.
men will be lovers of themselves or something like that. I really look at that as being selfish. People will
Yeah,
only love themselves and not think about what we got to do for other people, and I think that's a problem. And secondly, with money, for some reason we think money is the root to everything good, and it's not. And it says money is the root to all evil, but it's the way that you utilize money.
the love of
um,
money, the love of money.
love of money is exactly. And I think that's what the issue is, and I'm trying to understand how can we better people's mentality when it comes to money. It's
I think the whole social media era has totally got us distracted. Even though we will live in denial for the rest of our lives and deny that, but if you talk about, for me personally, growing up in the '80s was the best time ever. You know,
80s.
the '80s was like perfect for me. You know, that's just me. You know, is you had no cell phones like that. It was like basically interaction. You know, you talk about you go into a room now with 10 people, and
Hmm.
I guarantee that all 10 people will be on their phones.
They're on their phones.
They're on the phone. They don't interact with people. Kids now have no social skills at all. They don't know how to interact with
None.
people. If you listen to even rappers, I've been in rap music because I've been a producer and a manager. But look, talk about these rappers, how they talk to women. You know what I'm saying? Like they have no game. They have no social skills. It's about, yo, you know who I am? I got lots of money. You want it? And they put the money to their head and like, yo, you roll with me, baby. And it's just what it is, you know. It's just, and I tell dudes all the time not to be crazy, but I said, look, I'll take your woman from you because all you
Oh,
got is money. You got no game, you
right.
know, because that's just how it is. And people learn those things for generations, and the cycle keep going on and on and on. And everybody is so selfish nowadays. You know, I talk
That's
about in
my
the book. I've given up so much of myself to help others. This kid I basically adopted, I talk about in the book. He's at Yale right now. He came from Africa, Ghana, and he was basically down, had no support. I don't know him from nowhere. I took him in my home, adopted him, helped him. He's now at Yale as a junior in college. Another kid, he's at Wagner College. So I've done that because if I can give back, I do it. You know, I don't put money above anybody else. I'll have $1 and you
mm,
need it more than I do, and I'll give it to you. Because you know, at the end of the day, it's only money. We can't take it with us. Look at the story of Pablo Escobar when he was running away. He was burning millions just to keep warm.
yep.
So at the end of the day, what is money? It gives you a lot of happiness, yes, but how long can that really last though?
Right. And is it the right type of happiness?
Is
It's
it?
temporary, and it may not be the right type of happiness, because I always felt like a lot of people used to say, "Oh, would you rather be rich or famous?"
Exactly.
And
And you see, rich people want to be famous. Think about it.
right.
All these
And
basketball owners, they're at the front, the court side, jumping on everybody to see them. They're billionaires, but they're not happy. They want to be
they're not
famous. They
happy.
want people, yeah, no,
Yep. And I think if you're rich, well, if you're truly famous, you can always find ways to get money.
exactly. That is
So,
true.
so it's best to me to be popular and famous, because you can always find ways to make money, because come and go. You know,
Come and go.
I got a good question for you. Everyone's talking about reparations for Black people and all that kind of stuff, and I know in some states they're talking about giving each African American $5 million. So
That will never happen. That will never happen.
but even if they do you really think? What do you think most of our people would do with $5 million?
Blow it,
Blow it.
blow it.
Exactly. So everybody's fighting for these type of things, but is it really going to help us?
They're gonna blow it. Half of them be in the clubs, drinking bottles and all that. It is what it is. You know, I've been through that. I've seen it. Just like BMF, blow money fast. you
Yeah.
know, because even in the book, I talked about when I got in trouble and I was rolling with some guys because I was doing concerts. I was doing the biggest concerts, reggae concerts ever seen in Miami. I did those, and I was the first promoter to bring Sean Paul to the U.S. back in
Oh, wow.
'97. And this artist that's locked up now, Vibes Cartel. The first
Hmm.
time he came to Miami, I brought him here in Miami, 2003. So I've done a lot of things like first this, first that, whatever it is. And I rolled with a lot of people that had money. I rolled with guys that, used to spend 30, $40,000 a night in the club, blowing that. You know,
Wow.
guys that were affiliated with even BMF and all them guys. And
Hmm.
I've been there, done that. So, and I've seen how it is. And you can only do that for so long. It comes
Hmm.
a time when, you know what, it doesn't matter anymore. All that, the flossing and even Jay-Z talk about it. He don't do all the stuff anymore. He just clean. You see Jay-Z just white t-shirt and all that.
Yep,
No jewelry and all that. He don't have to prove himself to anybody anymore.
that's
You
true.
know.
Which brings me to an interesting point. A lot of times I hear a lot of successful rappers and hip hop artists, singers, especially the black ones, the African American ones or other. They always say that now, after they've reached this level of success. Do you think that's what it is for us? Once we reach that level of success, then we say it, or should we really be trying to say it now? Like what? Because it's easy for Jay Z to say that. Don't so some people feel like it's easy for Jay Z to say that he got everything.
I know he does, and obviously he went through his phase when he used to rock all them jewelry. Yes, understood. But again, he didn't know better either, because he
Right.
was he was raised by the streets.
Yep.
From Marcy projects and all that. A lot of us like, but that's just it though. So now we can learn from others. So
Exactly.
like even with me, I never had a blueprint for anything. I didn't know any better. I had to do trial and error. So like I tell people, I said, why learn from your own mistakes? Why do that? Learn from other people's mistakes.
Other people. That's
You
right.
know, so you ain't gotta go through all that learning curve. Just do it. Just say, you know what? Well, he did it that way, so I'm not gonna do it because that didn't work. So, okay, so now I'm an up and coming rapper, and I'm making money. Yo, so since I don't have to go to the early phase of Jay Z, I go straight to the phase of him chilling, wearing a white tee, no jewelry. And you know what? Hey, I ain't got a floss. I can do that. Look at artists like J. Cole and all them. They don't do that stuff. But
That's right.
you see, and that's just it. You can't. I'm not gonna lump everybody in the same category and say, well, you can't be like him or not. I'm not even gonna say that. But it would give more value to us as a nation and people, and let people stop stereotyping us and do that. I know guys that have a lot of money and don't take care of their kids. Why is
Wow.
that? Why is that? But
Mm.
it's just what it is. And that's why when people, and I'm not living my life for anybody else, but when people stereotype you, and that's why they say blacks get killed at a higher rate than other races, because of how they look at us, how they view us. This country was not built for us. It was
Mm.
built by us, but
By
not
us,
for
not
us.
for us. Yeah.
you know
That's built by us, not for us. That's another that's a t-shirt.
Yeah, built by us, not for us.
Exactly. So in your book, right? Um, first of all, I know you said when did you get that defining moment that you really wanted to sit and write this book? What happened?
There was a couple moments in my life, because the original what happened was that I was working with. I do a lot of promotion. Like I've worked with every reggae artist you can think of, from the Buju Bantons, the Beanie Mans, the Bounty. I've worked with everybody. I've been on tour, done everything with all these guys, and my cousin Sugar Minott, he passed away in 2010, but I was working with him. I did a concert with him and Barry Simon, Maxi Priest, and in Miami. And after, he said he wanted me to work with him to get more established and do some more things. I said, okay, cool. And one conversation he and I were having, and then because I didn't know that when he told me that group, Musical Youth, them kids from England that passed in
Yes.
Dutchy, he
Yes.
discovered them. And I was like,
Oh,
what? You discovered? I didn't know. I know a lot of people because he discovered there's a reggae artist that's known to a lot of people named Junior Reed, One Blood. He's done a lot of mixtape with the other rappers. One Blood, he discovered him.
yes.
That song Tenor Ring the Alarm. He
Yes.
discovered him. Garnet Hill, the great Garnet Hill passed away. So a lot of people, and I said, you know what, you need to let people know this. Then he told me he was the first reggae artist to ever tour Japan. He said not
Mm.
even Bob Marley toured Japan. He was the first one. And I said, what? And I said, you gotta let people know these things about you. And he said, man, that's not him. He's his love for the music. He's never like want to showcase himself. That's not him. He's just about you promotion, uplifting the kids and all that, and the younger artists. And I finally convinced him to do it. And he said, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm going to do that. You know what? We will do it together and write a book. He
Mm.
passed away a few months later.
Wow.
So when he passed away, I like, man, I was like, it was a rough spot. And I like, okay. So then I was like, just, I'm not worried about it. And I met Angelo Ellaby. And we were talking, because he's worked with a lot of people, like reggae artists, like Shabba Ranks and all them too. And we were
Yep.
talking, and then I mentioned my cousin Sugar Minor to him, and he said, "Oh, he never met him." And I said, "Yeah, I want him to write a book." And he said, "Why don't you write one?" I said, "Man, come on, I'm not gonna
Wow.
do that. I'm not gonna do that." I said, "Who wants to know about anything?" He said, "You know what? You should write one," because he and I was talking all the time, and I've gone through different parts of my life and the
Hmm.
things I've been through. So he was like, he convinced me basically. So, and pretty much that's when I decided to do it. Like that was like maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's when I decided to do it.
Wow. So you know what's interesting? I hear this a lot when I talk to people as well, and I've been learning. Like, I know some people call this a matrix or whatever, but I've been learning that everything that's supposed to happen happens, and we go through things that push us toward our destiny and what we're supposed to be doing. So all of that, and him telling you that, and you were gonna write a book about it, it just pushed you right into what you were supposed to be doing,
Yeah,
and you took that and you did it, and look what manifested from that.
yeah, I know. And crazy enough, the book was the number one. It was the best seller on Amazon for the Caribbean and Latin American literature. The first week, new releases on Amazon, I was totally blown away because I was like, I didn't even know that. The reviews have been really, really crazy, like really good. This young lady, I guess, bought the book and said she bought the book by mistake, and but she knew God knew she had to get it because she thought it was a book for school. But after reading it and understanding she's from the Caribbean background, she get to understand her relationship with her father also. So she
Mm,
was thanking me for even writing this book. I was like, wow. I can touch people like that, I'm good. So
mhm,
that's a good thing because I've always wanted to do that. Like I started a foundation back in 2000 to help underprivileged and abused kids. You
oh
know,
wow.
I've always done that. Global Vibes Foundation. So I've always done these things to give back and help. So I've never thought about anything for myself. It's never been me. That's never been my my stance on life and all.
Right, it's so funny. I hear that a lot. Back in the MySpace days, when I had a MySpace page, and I didn't know what I was saying, but there's a part up there where you have to put your own personal quote.
Yeah.
And back then, I made a quote. I said, "Find your purpose, because another person's life is worth it." So basically,
Mm.
it was like our purpose is really for someone else. Now, if you tell people that today, they go, I got to think about myself. I got to think about myself. But if
Yep.
everybody think about the next person, you won't have to worry about yourself.
It'd be a better world, man.
It'll be a way much better world. And that's why they tell me, yes, Kevin said it. Because I make up quotes and I say Kevin said it. But I just think if you really, really look at it, and I think writing a book is something that I always wanted to do, and I haven't had the opportunity. I went from artist to being in artist development. I sing and write, but I've never written a book yet. But I do look forward to it. I think I'm getting those signs too, because when I saw Prove 'Em Wrong, I was like, I need to write that too. I need to write a part
Proven
two.
wrong, man.
Wrong,
Proven
keep proving
wrong.
them wrong or something. But in your book, uh, what do you think one of the biggest points is for us to get about proving people wrong?
Being better people. Like I detail me as a single father and fighting, going all out for my kids, going all out to fight to make sure my kids were good. I saw a quote recently, and I don't want to bash women at all, that's not my point, but they were saying statistics said that 70% of single mothers raising boys, they end up in prison.
Oh
I don't
wow.
know, but and that's just it. So basically, if the fathers get involved with their sons, that statistics would drop dramatically, right?
Yeah.
So, so that's one of my main points in the book about single fathers. We standing up for our kids. We being there for our kids, being in their lives, no matter what it is. After the Super Bowl, I saw Snoop Dogg posted something on his Instagram, and Snoop Dogg said, when Patrick Mahomes and his dad hugged, and Snoop Dogg said, "It's always better with your dad around," like something like
Wow.
that. It's always better with your father, and that's just how it is, though. The success that's there. The father can actually do these things. It's just what it is. I have a nephew, that's in the NBA. He played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's a rookie, and throughout his life, I was always there for him. Even though things have been like really crazy, I've always made sure because his father wasn't in his life like that. So I
Right.
made sure, and I got him to where he is, and you know, get him to different, you know, keep him grounded to the point where he could make it and know he achieved his dream. He's in the NBA. So
Mm,
that's one of those things.
wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. You mentioned Sean Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have. I never. I think I met him once, but yeah, I did meet him once before, but I never physically worked with him. But there is a mashup. They call a mashup overseas with
yeah.
the record with him, myself, and Blue Cantrell.
Okay.
But
Oh yeah.
yes, and I'm that Kevin Bryant. Like, and
Wow.
it did so well over there, everywhere. And I was like, wow, it's funny how they can put stuff together. You never have to go in the studio with them.
Wow.
So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, so
Yep.
I remember when I met him. It was right before that, so I didn't ever get a chance to ever, tell him, hey, I'm the one. That, but
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I
eventually,
remember that. I remember
yeah.
that because when I first got him, when he came to Miami back in '97, he had two songs that were out. One song, "Infiltrate," on the same track that Beanie Man had a song, "Sim Simmer,"
Mm,
and another song, "Baby Girl." And I heard this, I was like, man, I like that. And I asked somebody who he was. He said, Sean Paul. I said, yo, I would like to get him on the show. And I contact his manager,
hmm.
and when his manager came to Miami, and because I had a flyer already, I had Beanie Man, Capleton, Sanchez, Sprague Benz, all these big name. And he looked at the flyer and he was like, "So why you want Sean on the show like this?" I had more faith in Sean than his own manager did at the time. And
Wow.
I was like, I said, yo, because I think he's gonna be really good. I think
Yeah.
And when Sean came for that show, he didn't even travel with a road manager. He
Mm,
just traveled by himself. That's it. You know,
wow.
only cost him $2,000.
Man, that's crazy.
But it's just what it is.
It's just what it is. So I know you. So were you even when you were doing that? You wasn't thinking about writing a book, right?
Never, ever, never. That was never in the part because, to be honest, the book took longer than expected. The book was supposed to be out last year, but
Mm,
because the book is so detailed, there's a lot of details in this book that I haven't spoken about in 20, 30 years. I didn't. So when I was rereading the book, and I remember Mr. Ellerby said, "When are you gonna finish the book?" I'm like, "Soon, soon, soon." But I didn't tell him I was just stalling because it got really deep for me and it really emotional. Because, like, even an incident I talk about on the ship when a friend of mine he got killed. He basically got murdered on the
mm,
ship while we was on it. I talk about it in the book too, and when I was reading that part, I really got really emotional about it and I had to put it down. And I couldn't go through a lot of different things that came up in it. Some things I left it open. I didn't really talk about a lot of things in it, but I left it for open for different interpretations and stuff. Because
right.
crazy enough, the crazy timing of it is that, like, I dated someone. Like I talk about my relationships, some of my relationships in the book, and
Mm,
there's a actress right now that's in the limelight again. She's been around for many years, but
mm-hmm,
she's presently back in the limelight right now. And we had a relationship for like a couple of years. I talk about, and I didn't. I wrote the book like when I was writing it. Then the book came out, and then it so happened that she's now in the limelight, and it seemed like cause someone asked me about it in an interview. And I said, "How you feel about it?" I'm like, "Wow." I said, "I don't even know. I don't
oh
even
wow, wow, that's crazy. It's funny you say limelight. Do you think you gave me you? I want to ask a question now. The limelight to a degree has changed, don't you think? Nowadays,
Yeah, it has. It
social
has.
media makes everybody feel like they're in the limelight. And no, because you brought me to believe to think about something. It's like it's one of the things you said before, and when you said limelight, it just totally just got me. Um, everyone thinks they're a star.
Yep. Yep.
So so when it comes to even proving them wrong, um, that makes because everybody feels like they're a star. You can't really prove anything to anyone nowadays,
No,
almost.
you can't talk to anybody. No, everybody knows
Right.
everything. Everybody knows everything. You know,
That's
you can't tell anybody anything. You like, and the crazy thing about even proving people wrong, people come to you and ask you something, and they say, "So you think?" And you tell them, "This is what it is. This," and they'll go ask somebody else.
mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so then you find out. I'm like, yo, so why you even ask me? So I say, yo, why you even ask me? Oh, no, it wasn't like that. And they start backtracking and stuff. And
Yep.
then it came back around that what you told them was the best thing. And then
Yep.
they like, oh, okay. And like, look, I ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody, and
Nothing to
that's
you.
just what it is, you know. It's just
Yeah.
sad, but
That's really sad. So what do you think people will get the most out of your book? What do you want them to get the most out of this book?
basically, don't give up, don't give in. Um,
Mm,
no matter if you have to prove people wrong, always stick to your guns, your beliefs. If you believe in something strong enough, have a strong conviction, go for it.
yeah.
Because not because someone said you can't do it, because they can't do it. It's not because you can't do it. You know, like a few years ago, I was telling a friend about doing. He wanted to launch his business, and I was giving him an idea how to do it and put it together for him. And when the the, the event was happening, he didn't put it together yet. He was like, and I was telling the one guy, I said, I told him exactly what to do to get it done. And the person said, you know why it didn't get done the way? Because it was your vision, it wasn't his.
Wow.
And it made me think, I'm like, you know what? He said, you thought about it, and it was your vision. You saw it from beginning to end, but you told him about it, but he couldn't see the same thing that you saw. So he
Hmm.
couldn't see it. And it's true. And that's the same thing with our society. You tell someone something because you envision it from start to end, but they're not seeing what you're seeing. So they're like saying, you're talking to someone and say, yeah, I get it, yeah, I get it. They don't really get it. They're saying that to appease you.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it, yeah. So basically, the whole book is about no matter what someone tells you can't do, once you believe in it with strong conviction, you can do it. No matter what nobody else says, no matter
Mm,
what it is, you can do it.
mm.
And pretty
That's
much that's what it is.
so that's basically how you are there any like passages that you really think resonate with people from the book, an excerpt that you can give us or a saying that you kind of, put in
There, there's
there?
a there's a lot of different moments in it. One part I talk about money is a great servant but a terrible master. I talk about that. I talk about the fallacy of fatherhood is that we are taken for granted, and black fathers are like often stereotyped like with deadbeats, and we have to like break that stereotype. Um, like one thing that launched my memory with all this to prove people was my grandmother when I started in the beginning of the book when she promised me something and never fulfilled that promise. And my grandmother told me, a promise is a comfort to a fool. And to this
Mm.
day, I was 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old when she told me that. And I'll never forget it to this day. I'll never forget it. You know? And another thing I'll say this too, because I put it in the book, like a lot of people, and you probably experience it, like these young kids, they call us old heads. What's up, old man? Yo,
Yeah.
old head. Yeah. I have a
They,
quote in the book. When I was in the Navy, I was 19 years old. Never forget, I was 19. And this older sailor came on board, and he was like maybe in his 40s. And he came and he was on the ship and he was like stretching. He was like, ah, my back. And I said the same thing. I said, what's up, old man? Getting old, huh? He looked at me and said, okay, young blood. Keep waking up every morning. You'll get there too.
they
Keep waking up every morning. You'll get there.
wake up every morning. Yeah, that's
Keep
deep.
waking up.
So I would ask this too. So with the title and everything being proven wrong, have you proved some people actually wrong yet?
Tons of people. Even
Really?
yesterday I proved somebody wrong. Yes, but it's an ongoing thing. It will never end. It will never end because people will never take you at your word. It's just how
Mm.
people are. They'll never take you for your word. It goes out throughout our lives. You go down the street and you tell someone. They said, how do you get to that street? I said, you take that street and go down, make a left, and they go right, and they go into a wrong neighborhood, and they're like, damn. And I said, I told you, didn't I tell you what to do? So it's just how it is. People just don't believe. People are very cynical these days. It's just
Yeah.
what it is, though.
Yep. Yep. Very cynical. But let me ask you this too. Even in proving some of the people wrong, have anyone ever come to you and said, "Wow, Andrew, you did it. I didn't think you would do it." Did they admit to that?
Yeah, a few people have done that. Like,
Mm.
yeah, a people like when I started doing concerts, a lot of people said I could never do it. They said he's never gonna do it. People was talking behind my back said he don't know what the hell he's doing. And that may have been true, but they never encouraged me, they never helped me. But people are quick to criticize and judge, but never quick to help. And that's just
Wow.
what it is. So they'll talk about you like, man, he don't know what he's doing. And when it comes to they're like, wow. Yeah, and they show a different face. Yo, man, congratulations, man. I knew you could do it. I knew, but it's just how people are. It is what it is. When I was doing the concert, that first concert, I offered an artist X amount of dollars, and some seasoned promoters told me I was an idiot to pay him that much money. So I was like, I felt really bad because I said, damn, I don't know what the hell I felt bad that I was overpaying. I was like, I felt it really bothered me for a long time. It bothered me. So the concert came and went, and the artist performed, did great. Then a month later, those same promoters would bring that same artist back. So my friend who was his manager, I spoke, I said, yo, how much they paying him? And he didn't want to tell me. I said, come on, just tell me how much you're paying him. And he said, a lot more than what you did. I said, come on, man, just let me know. And then, because I paid him 7,000,
Hmm.
the other people paying him 12. So they were criticizing me for paying him 7, but they end up paying him way more than I did. And that's just how people are. So
Hmm.
you can't watch what people say to you, man. It's just like they'll make you fall and you don't even realize it.
Mm. Wow. Where do you actually think about this book going? Where do you want it to go, and who do you want it to reach?
I want to reach everybody. I want to reach actually 50 Cent. That's make a movie out of it. Hey, 50, holler at me, bro.
That is interesting. He might, 50
Yeah,
is really
a,
good at
lo-
that.
a lot of people have said to me, like people have read the book and said, "Man, it's laid out like a movie," because it starts out like basically growing up in Jamaica. Because I used to, when I lived in Jamaica, I used to cut lawns for Lady Sarah Churchill. She's actually the grandniece for Sir Winston Churchill.
Mm.
So growing up, I knew a lot of these uppity people like growing up. So then from then I came to Jersey. I started living in New York. I went to Newark, Brick City in New Jersey, joined the Navy. From then went to California, was in the Persian Gulf, in the middle of the Indian Ocean when the USS Stark got hit, we were the first aircraft carrier out there. So
Wow.
we saw Russian planes all over. the book detail a lot of things that happen, even that people don't know. Like we almost went to war with Iran back in 1987. The general public don't even know these things. You know, a lot of things I talk about in the book, like, and then I talk about when I got in trouble when I was doing these concerts, and then, you know, they didn't want me, they wanted some other people I was affiliated with, and I didn't talk. I basically, like, I held it, and I went away and did time for something that I didn't have anything to do with. But I did that because I made sure, you know what, I'm gonna hold that. I'm responsible for that, so I'm not gonna throw anybody else under the bus. Did it, came back out, surfaced, did other things. So my whole life is sequenced like a movie, you know.
Right.
So basically, it's a good read. A lot of people have told me that, like people that I've known all my life, they read the book and said, "Man, they didn't expect that. They didn't know half the things I went through in my life." So, like I said, hey, it could do that, sell 1 million copies, and then 50 Cent holler at me, "Yo, 50, just hit me up, bro."
That's crazy. 50, hit him up. Let him know. That's good. We gotta make sure we shout out to Mr. Ellaby too for you know putting you on. Mr. Ellaby is
Yeah,
great. He
man. Angelo Ellaby, good dude, man. I give him all the credit because if it wasn't for him, none of this would be possible. None of this. And,
yep, shout out to him. Shout
you
out to
know,
Kevin Owens. Double exposure. Wow. I just you need to work on getting a book tour and go in and
yeah,
talk about
I'm trying to get that done too. So I'm working with Angelo Ellaby with that also. So I'm trying to plan that. That's why I want to go to Jamaica, especially where it started at, be New York, Atlanta, LA. I want to do these things and try to get it out there because it's now I realize that a lot of people really feel in this book, and it's a good read, and it's not too long and drawn out. So, and it's open because I did a lot of things I didn't talk about in it. So there's open for do a sequel or do another book and all that. Because even a big part of it, that movie Shutters, right?
yes.
Okay, that movie actually materialized at my house when I lived in Myrmidon,
Wow.
Florida. That movie, because the casting director was my partner, or is my partner, and the director, Seth Silvera, he flew in and he came by my house to talk about it. So the original script we had, and we were looking at it, going over it, and then my partner, he managed Sprague Benz. He was one of the lead actors in it, and we called Sprague that night, and I FedExed the script to him.
Wow.
And then he said, "Yo, he liked it and he'll do it." And then at the time, specialist was man Kimani Marley, and we hooked up with him. And basically, that's all. The movie came together right then and there. Because actually, I was supposed to be, but I'm not an actor, so I didn't know how to. So I said, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that." Because he asked me if I want to be in the movie. I said, "Nah, I can't. I don't do that. I can't do that."
Wow. That's what, hopefully something like that can happen. You ever thought about going on and creating a script and just like
Yeah, because actually someone was talking to me about they want to do a movie, and someone told him that they should write it in book form first.
yep. Yep.
Yes, so no, it's in the book form, maybe then it can translate into that. So, you know, I'm open for anything, man. Anything is possible. I just want to prove everybody wrong. So I proved myself wrong that I actually wrote the book. Because I proved myself wrong. I didn't know I could write this book, and I wrote it. So
That's a good point. If you proved yourself wrong, now it's just time to prove everybody else wrong. So say
exactly,
that
I proved
today.
myself wrong.
You will get a movie out. You would you call it prove 'em wrong?
I would leave that to the director, whatever they want to do.
That's a good point. Well, just to ask that too, who would you like to direct?
Wow, I have no idea. I have no idea. I know a friend of mine because I talk about the guy that got me in trouble and named Gilly, and a friend of mine called me and said, "Yo, I'll play the role of Gilly. I'll play Gilly." I said, "Hey, whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you
Wow,
want to do."
that's crazy. I like that. So, you have two sons, correct?
I have 3 sons and one
Three
daughter.
sons. Have they read the book?
They read pieces of it. I'm getting actually the audiobook should be coming out by next week. So a lot of people I know don't like to read. Like they used to say You can hide anything from a black man. Just put it in the book.
Yeah, I hate that you have to say that, but that's exactly what they
No,
say.
that's what they said. I've heard so many people say it. I've heard Tom Joyner said it. Michael Basin said it. You know, I've heard
It's
so
a
many people say
shame to
that.
know that, you know. It's a shame to know that. But you got, hey, put it in a book. Hopefully, if everybody hear it that way, they'll start looking at the book because now they
Yeah,
got Audible books, they got everything.
yeah.
So,
So I'm going to do that. 'Cause even the Malcolm X, the movie Malcolm X, that movie was so seen by probably everybody. And how many people read the autobiography of Malcolm X? I read it twice.
mm,
You know, but that's just what it is, though. You know.
yeah, that's Malcolm X. Yeah, you know what? You just made me think of something. Did you see the Oscars?
I saw pieces of it with Angela Bassett thing.
Oh, the answer best. I said, so what do you think about that? I'm just curious. I'm just asking everybody, like, how did you feel about that particular situation? I mean, my opinion is my opinion, but I'm just asking you yours for.
Yeah, I just saw the excerpts and the highlights of it, and I saw when they were talking about it. So I went back to see it, and I saw her sitting down, and I guess she's disappointed. You know, I guess hey, everyone goes through disappointment. That's the book started about talking about my disappointments, and she had to not prove them wrong. That what she deserved that Oscar. But
Mm,
it's just how it is, man. Look at Denzel Washington never got an award for Malcolm X, but he got one for Training Day. You know, but if you think about it, him shooting up and doing all that kill,
right,
that's what he got it for. Halle Berry didn't get one for that movie she did, but she got one for when
right.
she was naked. It's just
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
But
eh,
is that? Do you think that's just something that they do to us?
Absolutely. My opinion, yes, I think they do. They
Mm,
they 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 figure like, okay, you want to get a bone, I'll demoralize you a little bit more, and then okay, you can go fetch.
I
That's
think
what
we
it
should.
is.
I think we should come up with our own version of the Oscars.
Yeah, that's just what it is, though. Think about this. I don't eat meat. All I eat is fish, and I don't eat red meat or anything like that. But think about it. One of the biggest delicacies in the South is chitlins. Think about this for a second.
Yeah, here.
Chitlins. And how did chitlins come about? It's hog intestines. So the slave masters used to give that to the slaves, like, okay, go. And think about it. We carry that on as a delicacy
Right,
for hundreds of years. Why we still do that? Why? And then if you ask someone, they said it tastes good, man. It's tradition. My great granddaddy did it. My great then. So it's just what it is. We got to learn to be self sufficient, and that's just what it is.
yeah, yeah. You got to be learn to be self sufficient. I mean, everything you're saying is great. I know you said you're a pescatarian out here.
Yeah,
Any
yeah, yeah.
particular reason why?
The first reason when I was on the ship in the Navy, I had veal the first time. I didn't even
Hmm.
know what it was. I was like 19 years old. I had veal, and later on I found it was like a young calf. I got so sick. I was sick for like a week. I was sick. For the rest of the cruise on the ship, I just had peanut butter and jelly sandwich and salad.
Mm,
So after that, I came back. I cut out red meat. I just eat poultry at a time, just like chicken, turkey, fish. I just cut out red meat at that point. And then later on, in '98, I made a commitment. You know what? I'm gonna stop eat meat, and I'm gonna stop eat fish one of these days too. So, cause I don't really have like I'm not a foodie. Like people love food. I'm not. I'm not that.
right.
So
Wow. Okay. Wow, Mr. Andrew, you seem to have a lot of gems and nuggets that we need to go on and get this book. I suggest that everyone take a moment and go out and get this book and prove them wrong. And if you have somebody to prove wrong, read the book first.
yeah,
You
man, definitely, man, definitely. It's on Amazon, right? You just click, boop, and it's sent to you. It's right on
know?
Amazon.
Well, I want to thank you because you gave me another bit of motivation or energy to motivate myself to continue on my proving them wrong journey. That's a good one. Yeah, the proving them wrong journey.
Hey, absolutely. We do it every day, man. No matter how you look at it. And I bet when we finish talking, you're gonna go back and say, you know what, damn, that was true. Because we prove
Yeah,
people wrong every single day. Every
yeah.
single day we prove people wrong. It's just how it is.
And most of the time, it's family members and close friends.
Absolutely. Because they're the ones supposed to know you the most and know you the best.
Exactly.
And
And
they're
they're
the
the
one you gotta
ones
be proving wrong. Yeah, absolutely.
and they're the ones that's the hardest to prove to anything, knowing
Yeah.
that we need support.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you, Mr. Andrew Minott. Minott, why
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes, sir.
I like that. Thank you for talking to me, and hopefully, some people out here, they see that and they want to go out and look at the book and get the book and talk about the book, and hopefully everybody can prove everybody wrong because we need the right thing happening today. And
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate you taking up time. Let everyone know where they can get your book, how they can find you if they need to.
Yeah, definitely. You can get the book, Prove 'em Wrong, available on Amazon. You can also go on my website, anchorminot.com. And my social media handle is the same, at Drew Minott. At Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All the handles are the same, at Drew Minott. I talk about all things that I went through in my life and everything, all things that's coming up with the book and all that. So you can find all that. My website have a lot of my interviews, my journey, everything that goes on and stuff. Just anchorminot.com.
Nice, nice. You guys heard that? Please, if you are into the books, if you're into, is it available on Audible?
Audible, not the Audible book is coming out like next week.
Got you.
The
So if you
Audible
are
book is
into the
coming out next week.
books, right, and you enjoy reading, you need some motivation, you need a little push, and you know you got to prove some people wrong because you want to make it out here. Go out there and get the book and support Mr. Andrew Minott.
Appreciate
And
that, sir. Appreciate
yes,
that.
please go get the book. I am Kevon Bryant, and yes, Kevin said it. If you need to hit me up, I will double confirm to go out and get the book proven wrong because I'm about to dig my head into it as well. So I appreciate that. And shout out
Thank
to
you.
Double Exposure and Kevin Goins. And shout out to the Heat Seekers. Shout out to Calvin Films. Shout out to Alvin Agarat. Thank you much for producing this. And hopefully, when you get to Atlanta, you can check me out.
Definitely. I'll make sure I do that. I'll make sure. Remember, I come see you, man.
Oh, please, I'll hit you up. All right, thank you guys. I am Kevon Bryant. Yes, Kevin said it. This is Kev Talks, and we just spoke to Andrew Minott. And go out and get his book. It is available now, bestseller on Amazon, especially out there in the Caribbean. I know, right? So
Yes,
go ahead and
exactly.
check the book out, and remember this: all you got to do is prove them wrong. Thank you.
Moving
Have a
on.
great day. Hey, we about to end.